organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, apostle and overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and host of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. There's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Another group of elated homeowners, this time on Abaco's beautiful island of Spring City and Central Pines, turning dream into reality. Also, as the government seeks to put more Bahamians in homes as owners and not renters, one lending institution is seeking to do the same and have more customers turning their own keys. And a look over on Eleuthera, the final preparations for Junior Junkanoo taking place this weekend. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Dreams turning into reality for one group over on Abaco, officially becoming homeowners today over in Spring City and Central Pines. This as the government continues its housing initiative across the country, with new homeowners receiving keys here in New Providence just last week through the government's rent-to-own program. Our Devontae Hanna was on that story tonight.
Well, we're in Central Pines, Abaco, where the Davis administration handed over the keys to 12 lucky residents here on the island, 6 of which are here in Central Pines, 6 other homes, 4 of them rent-to-own, a part of the rent-to-own initiative in Spring City, Abaco. Now, of course, this all ties into the Davis administration's plan to provide access to more affordable housing for Bahamians across the length and breadth of this country, and it adds to the total of over 100 homes that have been built in the capital, with more expected to pop up in the Family Islands. In fact, the Minister of State with responsibility for housing and urban renewal, the Honorable Lisa Raming, today mentioned that there are 18 new homes that will be built in San Salvador, and she says in the coming weeks we can expect an update on that, and those residents should be in their homes before the end of the year. Now, this area that you see here behind me is one that was adversely affected by massive storm Hurricane Dorian, so as you can imagine, the residents here had to, in most cases, completely rebuild their homes. We got a chance to speak to one lucky resident. He said that he's elated and he's so happy to see that Abaco is now on the bounce back after that monster storm. So for right now, we're going to continue to get some more information as it relates to these homes behind us and for the future as it relates to housing in the country. From Central Pines, Abaco, I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
Thank you for that reporting, Devontae. As more Bahamians begin the process of going after home ownership, they are encountering barriers that turn some of their dreams into nightmares. And for many, they are deferred. But tonight, Corval Pyfrom reports at how one lending institution is on a mission to see it that more people are turning keys.
Uncertain economic times have made for many long-held dreams of home ownership feel less likely to happen. More people appear to be pushing the can down the road when it comes to starting the home acquisition process, but Bank of the Bahamas mortgage specialist Edward Strawn says this doesn't have to be the case.
You have to start at the beginning, which is come in, get an understanding of where you are. Sometimes you think you know where you are, but you're actually lost, and I call it an abyss.
The Bank of the Bahamas recently held a mortgage fair aimed at getting would-be homeowners started on their journey. The response, Strawn says, was overwhelming, attracting over 800 potential clients. It was also illuminating, he adds, because many people are still without any savings.
Central bank statistics speaks to the fact that most persons, the majority of the nation, have less than $3,000 on a savings account. So if you have less than $3,000 on a savings account, trying to find $5,000 or $10,000 or even $20,000 for a down payment in a lot of instances is a challenge.
But Strawn assures there's still a way to reaching that dream.
It is attainable. You just need a roadmap. You need a roadmap to that end. You set a goal, we'll give you directives. And the ask is simple. If you could at least listen to our advice, listen to the advice of the professionals who are in the industry every day.
Mr. Strawn here at the Bank of the Bahamas' Mortgage Center does not skirt around the fact that for many it is becoming increasingly difficult to acquire mortgages. But he says the best way to get it done is to first get started. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Thanks, Corval. Operators of the all-inclusive Sandals Resort International could be restarting efforts to sell. Reports are that a sale deal could be up to the tune of between $6 billion and $7 billion. The renewed sale push comes a few years after the death of its founder, Gordon Butch Stewart, back in 2021. Butch's son, Adam Stewart, now serves as executive chairman. Sandals is reportedly the largest employer in the Caribbean, with some 20,000 workers across its luxury properties located in 7 countries in the region, including the Bahamas. The Jamaican-based company markets its properties as luxury couples-only vacations. The potential sale comes less than a year after Sandals Emerald Bay in Exuma temporarily closed its doors to facilitate the multi-million-dollar redevelopment to Beaches Exuma. The temporary closure impacted 400 workers at that property. There's a new judge on the bench of the Supreme Court, and after spending a few weeks in rotation, his analysis, a scathing review of the court system in the Bahamas. He left no holds barred when dealing with the case of a former high-ranking police officer today, vowing that he will not allow long, drawn-out delays to obstruct the wheels of justice. Our Felicity Darville has that story.
Newly appointed Supreme Court Justice Dale Fitzpatrick said the delay in cases in the Bahamian jurisdiction makes him anxious. It is profound, he said, and it could crush our court system. It's a speech he has repeatedly given when his court is in session, warning prosecutors and defense attorneys to have their ducks in a row because matters in his court will be proceeding in a timely manner. He was hearing the case of former Police Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, Sergeant D'Angelo Roll, and Attorney Bjorn Ferguson. The 3 are facing charges stemming from the police investigation into the armored car heist of nearly $1.5 million from ICS Security at Odyssey Airport in November 2023. Prosecutors allege that Johnson and Ferguson conspired to commit bribery and acted as accessories to help Michael Fox Jr. evade prosecution for conspiracy to commit the heist. Johnson is also accused of stealing $90,000 of that money from the security officer involved, Akil Holmes. And prosecutors also allege that Roll gave Johnson the money. Justice Fitzpatrick said he will be giving this case priority as these men are professionals and their reputation hangs in the balance. On August 8th, he will call on prosecutors to give an update on their evidence in a mention hearing. The evidence includes information garnered from the FBI, voice recognition reports on contents of 5 voice notes currently under scrutiny in the United Kingdom, material from 4 drones, 3 iPads, 2 laptops, Ring surveillance camera, and 9 cell phones phones, including those belonging to Fox, who is now deceased. Defense attorneys in court included Damian Gomez, Krista Mason-Smith, and Ty Pinder-Mackey. Gomez indicating that the defense will have their own experts scrutinizing this evidence. Prosecutor Erica Ingram said based on the weight of the evidence, it may take a while to be prepared, but Justice Fitzpatrick said, "We won't be doing a trial in 2027 or 2028. He recalled that attorney Mario Judicial referred to a case in Canada relating to long wait times. He said he's actually from the jurisdiction of that cited case. He knows about court delays, but says the situation here in the Bahamas is worse. With that, Justice Fitzpatrick set the pretrial date for January 30th, 2026, and the trial date for March 23rd, 2026. The trial is expected to run for 1 month. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
With a massive bushfire sweeping across large portions of Grand Bahama, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, is pledging more resources and urgent support to assist firefighting teams battling the blaze, adding that the government is fully committed to containing the fire and protecting affected communities. The Ministry of Works has been directed to provide heavy-duty equipment to assist, according to the Prime Minister, who also noted that the Royal Bahamas Police Force has been requested to assist firefighters.
We have provided some resources. I know that in our conversation, they needed some heavy-duty equipment, like Abacos and all that. So the Ministry of Works have been engaged to provide those resources. So if anything else they need, we will be ready to provide it for them. But I'm confident that the resources are available, the manpower is there, the willingness to fight this fire, to ensure that lives are saved and properties are protected.
Back here in the capital tonight, fire emergency responders are monitoring that large blaze in the Coral Harbor area, which engulfed more than 1/4 mile of forest area and posed a threat to nearby residences, with blanketing smoke also creating a hazard for drivers. The fire has been extinguished, but officials are still trying to smother smoke, which continues to emanate from the site. The cause of the fire still unknown. However, officials told our news team these kinds of fires are not unusual for this time of year. Tomorrow, a college fair is set. A number of historically black college and university presidents are here in the Bahamas for the 4th annual college fair, where potentially millions of dollars are available for Bahamian students to study in the United States. Today, Grand Bahama students were offered scholarships worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. On Saturday, more scholarships will be offered from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the East Street Tabernacle Church of God of Prophecies Children's Center. Organized by the local Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the Alpha Kappa sorority, over the years, HBCU schools gave millions of dollars in scholarships to Bahamians. Here's AKA committee member Tara Sweeting on scholarships given in today's college fair in Grand Bahama.
College has accepted 30 students, Grand Bahamian students, on the spot. They have acceptance into the university. We have Kaplan University, who've given out, awarded more than $200,000 in scholarships today.
Sweeting admonishes parents and students to take advantage of the abundance of opportunities and not let this pass them by.
Go online, fill out the Back Common application, because on that application you can tell them which universities you want your information to go to. Come dressed to impress these presidents. We have presidents and their representatives from this school, and this is why this particular college fair is so outstanding, because our presidents come, not just recruiters. The presidents from these universities come, and they themselves award the scholarships to the students.
Well, who better to advise youth leaders on how to mold the next generation than our head of state, Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cynthia Pratt, still affectionately known as Mother. She's created opportunities for young people to obtain tertiary education and has supported numerous youth programs. Speaking at the King's Trust International Bahamas Youth Sector Conference, which wrapped up today, she shared how the morals and values of yesteryear are so important for the youth of today. Felicity Darville tells us more.
The magic of a peaceful and prosperous Bahamas must be built on the firm foundation laid by our ancestors, one in which manners and respect were the order of the day. Governor General, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, said in her day they did not have technology, but they had family and each other.
We grew up hard. We had little to no distraction during my day. iPad and mobile devices were not existent during my time. Our parents were not as educated and exposed as the parents of today. But they cared and always wanted us to receive a good, sound education. Many in my generation studied with the aid of kerosene or candlelight. Proudly, though, we were children of integrity. We had principles and we had values. We upheld the standards of decency and honesty.
Dame Cynthia said the children of yesteryear were dressed appropriately at all times, went to church, and lived by the principles they were taught.
I intentionally mentioned my experiences as a child because it is critical for today's youth to understand that this was the heart of our upbringing, which was the highest standards. There was no compromise in this regard.
Today's youth, she said, has to deal with climate change and artificial intelligence. But if they lean on good old-fashioned values, their bright minds and willing hearts will prevail. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Thank you, Felicity. Ground was broken for Eleuthera's Palmetto Point Urgent Healthcare Facility late last October. The project set to total just under $9 million. South and Central Eleuthera Member of Parliament, the Honourable Clay Sweeting, provided an update on the clinic, which has a tentative completion date of October 2026.
The foundation actually should be poured this week, so we're excited about that. This has been a 40-year promise, and we're to the point now where it's actually out of the ground and being constructed. And what's exciting is Eleuthera contractors. So we have persons from the island building a healthcare facility for the island.
And as far as tertiary education goes, since its opening last year, the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute on Eleuthera has taken on 25 enrollees.
They're starting to take persons for classes there at BTV Island Greencastle, which is the first family island BTVI campus at any family island.
Charles Fisher is up next.
Entrepreneurs, are the high costs of banking services making it harder for you to grow your business? The SBDC's Business Blueprint is back with all the information you'll need to get your business finances right and on track. So join us when we sit down with Fidelity Bank and Trust International's Group CEO, Goran Poe, to discuss securing funding, managing banking fees, and alternative lending options. Plus, get his top-notch financial advice for long-term business success. Only on the SBDC's Business Blueprint, Monday, March 31st at 9 p.m. on ZNS TV 13, because only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Good evening, and thanks for staying up late for the best in sports. Let's get to it. Let's start off with Junior Boys BAISS playoff action. Sock and Life a Key tied at 1 at this point. Good footwork. First attempt, no good, but the putback seals the win for the Dragons 2-1. Don Wakeman, head coach.
Came out today and played probably our best game of the season. The boys played with a lot of intensity, and so we're really proud of them for that. In terms of the 2-1 victory, it wasn't easy, but the boys continued to fight throughout the whole game, straight up to the end, and were able to score the game winner in the last part of the second half. So really proud of them. They all played really well and played as a team.
Next on the turf, St. Andrews and Queens College Junior Boys winner to meet Life at Key in the championship starting next week, Tuesday. This too would end by the score 2-1 with the Hurricanes of St. Andrews moving on. Both goals by Andreas Thompson.
It's really just like a surreal moment because, like, just scoring the winning goal for your team, scoring both goals, it's just a good feeling. So I'm just happy to get the win and go to the championship.
That was a really tough game. We played Queen's College last week. It was a really tough game. We knew there wouldn't be many goals in it. So they're such a strong team. We knew we were going to have to work really hard all the way through and never let it up if we were going to get anything out. At the end, there was only one goal in it again. These are two pretty even teams, but we had a fantastic finish from this young man here to get the winning goal.
Senior boys, Life at Key and Windsor playing a thrilling classic as this one ended 1-1 after regulation and also into overtime. So they went into penalty kicks. This one back and forth between the two. In the end, it would be the boot by Windsor's Zion Manuel sealing the win on penalty kicks 5-4 and let the celebration begin.
You know, it was great. Last year we played the same team in the finals last year and we lost in pen, so obviously that was a lot of agony, you know. In preparation for this game, that's a possibility. So just going up, staying calm, and knowing I won job, and I did that.
They gave us a good game. Like, it was a really tough game, the last game, but to get through past them now, they're an excellent side. That's probably the best side in the tournament, and for us to get through just shows the credit to my guys here.
Senior girls not as close as the boys, as the Comets of Queens College showed their domination 3-0 over St. Anne's, with Afreen Fatima leading the way.
I'm extremely happy with the results, and most of all, I'm happy with my team. We all worked together. We played amazing, and I feel like we worked as a team, and that's what really caused us to win today. I did not think it would be so easy. I expect every game. I tell my team every game will be a challenge, and we have to play like we're the worst on the field for the best outcome.
More tonight on the upcoming B3 Grifter Track and Field Trials, April 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Thomas & Robinson Stadium. B3's Vice President of Technical Operations, Tito Moss.
To date, we have 480 registrants for trials, which is about 100 more than we normally have at Grifter Trials. We have 61 pre-qualifiers so far. It's a 3-day meet, following the similar format of the Grifter Games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we're looking forward to hopefully naming a team that will probably be in the range of about 50 members. I know last year the team was 67 members, and we can very easily exceed that number.
Now, over the years, there has been a lot of confusion when the team is selected as to who have made the times and distances, but they are still left off.
Say that they are pre-qualifiers, and the final trials, which is the trials, head-to-head competition, along with all of those who may have competed, will determine those who are named to the team. I know for sure in 2024, we had 6 girls qualified in the under-17 girls 400-meter hurdles, but we only took 2 girls. So pre-qualifiers is the term that we use, and we continue to remind announcers at the meets to use the term pre-qualifier, because they sometimes in their exuberance, they'd be like, oh, so-and-so just qualified for Grifter, and the thinking, like you said, can go forward that Susan or Jane will automatically be named to the team. So again, yes, that is a very good question, but we are often clear to remind the coaches, to remind the athletes that they have to show up to trials. Head-to-head competition matters, and to this point, they are pre-qualifiers.
B3's President Jamaica Archer further explains, especially the parents and coaches, the criteria.
That standards committee looks at the 4th place average over the period of 3 Grifter games and establishes a qualifying standard. So any athlete that achieves that standard is a pre-qualifier. As Tito has indicated, there are oftentimes multiple qualifiers, and head-to-head competition determines who will be named to the team. There are some exceptions to that rule, however. If you are a collegiate athlete and are exempted and establish the qualifying standard that surpasses the standard of the pre-qualifiers locally, then you would not be precluded from consideration from being named to the team. Secondly, there are also circumstances where no athlete achieves the qualifying standard. And in such cases, we look to the standard of the region. And if the athlete has achieved that standard, that fourth place standard within the region, that athlete also gets a berth on the team.
And over in Abaco, where Gap A senior setter Jace Bornell with a proud moment signing a letter of intent to play college volleyball at the University of Huntington in Indiana at the NAIA level. Flanked by his mom and coach Stephen Johnson, Chase helped the Eagles to a perfect season in Abaco over the last 2 years. Good luck to him as he expands on his volleyball career at the next level. And that's going to put a wrap on your Fun Look at Sports on a Friday. Thanks for staying up late. Have yourself a great weekend.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We have relatively dry conditions, but we do have 1 or 2 showers just offshore of Meg 1 today over the open waters of the Atlantic. But there is an upper level trough here in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to advect some moisture over the northwest Bahamas tomorrow. So we'll see an increase in shower activity on Saturday and Sunday, particularly Saturday afternoon, heading into Sunday morning. And your temperatures around the island, 75 in Marshall, Abaco, Greentown, Key, and Freeport at 76 degrees, 74 in the Berry Islands. Allenstown, Bimini, 75, 73 in Harbor Island. Rock Sandy Lutra, 76, 77 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros, all at 78 degrees, 80 degrees here in Georgetown, Exuma, Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 77. Some 79s in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, they have a temperature of 80 degrees, Ackland 76, Matchicani, 81, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your forecast tonight, we're looking at very windy conditions, a couple of evening showers, otherwise partly cloudy and mild conditions can be anticipated with a low temperature of 71 degrees. And tomorrow, partly sunny and windy again, 81 degrees for your high temperature. The extended weather forecast looking like this. We'll see some showers working their way into our forecast over the weekend as a result of that upper level trough in the Gulf of Mexico. Temperature-wise, a bit warm during the daytime, but that brisk winds will keep things a bit comfortable for you. Same things go for the nighttime temperatures. They will be in the low 70s with those breezy conditions making the night very comfortable. Royston.
Thank you, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At the Office of the Prime Minister, I'm Devontae Hanno. This is ZNS.